Hey guys, happy Monday. Pretty good weekend for us. Nice little day yesterday. Get even there with some sweaty unders. Cash them though with the Mavs and the Sixers. Also hit with the Cavs and the Knicks. Both of those ramped up in the back end of the games. Got a bit sweaty, but hang on there for the under. Saturday, pretty good day as well. Let's see if we can keep it rolling here on into this week. Keep it a good March. Let's see if we can have a big month here now that we're out of the All-Star break last month before baseball season. So a bit of a nutty day in the NBA yesterday. A lot of injuries. The injuries keep on piling up. Brunson, another one down for the Knicks. And in that Celtics Golden State game, one of our losers yesterday. I mean, Boston Celtics. What an absolute massacre on national television yesterday.
There's a lot of things we talk about in 4th and 6 for Golden State and last David trip, and all those things do have to come in, but the line still gave you enough points to say, hey, Golden State is on fire right now. They had won 8 straight road games. Boston winning 10 straight. Golden State had won 5-1 their last 6 games, covering all 6. Nowhere in the world did we anticipate a 50-some-odd point blowout. Celtics' 3rd time this season, a 50-plus point blowout, becoming the first team in the NBA to do that. We've been saying it all year. They're just on it's Celtics, and then it's everybody else. Golden State had as good as a run as you can have, but saw it again last night with Curry. They chased Curry. Man, they went after him. They weren't going to let Curry make threes, and he didn't. He didn't make any. And now, I don't know how many times that is this year, but I can guarantee this the most times in a season that Curry has not made threes. Look, what Curry, LeBron, even KD, what these guys are doing at their age has been insane. I mean, just really ridiculous. And we'll talk about LeBron later and his getting to 40,000 points, a number that's ridiculous. And I saw a stat that it took him as many games to get from 30,000 to 40,000 as it did from 0 to 10,000. Showing you the level that he's been playing at just lately. Just crazy. But anyway, Steph and the Warriors look like the Warriors pre-death of the assistant coach. They had been playing phenomenal ball, but Boston, like I said, just on another level. And again, still didn't even have Porzingis yesterday, and they just laid the hammer down. An embarrassing loss for Golden State. They'll go back home. Brunson, it's a knee banging, so it's not going to be a tear. It's a bruise. So Knicks fans can take a deep breath. You're not going to, because you lose Brunson, it's over. I mean, Knicks already went there yesterday and played that game without Randall, OG, and Robinson, 3 guys that were out. You lose Brunson last night. They had only 3 extras on the bench. McBride played every second of the game from the point that Brunson left, which was less than a minute into the game. And the day before, I think it was the game before, it was Hart playing 47 minutes and change. And that's the thing with Tibbs. He just runs his guys down, and he's been doing that forever. That's great for the regular season, but, man, you'd be running out of gas late. So, yeah, a lot of stuff, as always, in the NBA. We got more injury questions today, and those injuries are so important, and you got to know when the injuries meet up and when they don't. Again, Cavs had a couple of injuries going into that game also. You had Mitchell and Karis LeVert missing for their 2nd straight game. Anyway, long story short, what we did yesterday, we got beat with the Golden State game, but we knocked down 2 totals, and we knocked it down with the help of referees. Not that they were cheating or there's no big – it's just that we had tendencies with refs. And the tendencies yesterday in the first game, 76ers and Mavs, you got Van Duyn, 28-17 in games of his games went under. And Tiven, Van Duyn is 30-17, and Tiven 28-17. So we caught that one. 2 refs that are 60% or better in games going to the under. When it's 56%, we don't go crazy on that. When it's 60% and there's enough games to be played, a good sample size, that's when we'll include ref stats And then we had one. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. We had one in the Knicks game where that was again 2 referees. Forte 30-15 in his 45 games, 66.7%. That's a big edge you're going to look for. And Forte 19-12. I'm sorry. What did I say? Forte and Collins, Derek Collins, 19-12 of his games under. So again, we analyze everything, even down to the refs when it makes sense. A lot of stats we say we look at them all. Not everything is an important stat, but when you get certain refs, home teams win more with certain refs. A total goes one way or another. That then we'll look to include those stats. But the weekend was okay. Sunday was good. Saturday, did we post another winning day Saturday? I think we had 3 straight winning days going into Sunday. So it's post All-Star break. We had a nice little, I think it was 6-3 run, whatever it was, getting back on the right path. And what I will want to talk about for the guys that watch us all the time, I guess it was last week, post All-Star break, when I said the NBA is officially looking into the scoring situation because scoring is just getting out of hand. Well, since the All-Star break, totals are 61-25-1 against the spread. So just like Major League Baseball last year changed some rules to get more scoring into the game, looks like this is what's going to happen with the NBA. They see too much scoring. They want to cut it back a little bit. So a little memo goes out to the referees, and maybe the whistles get swallowed a little bit, and that's how it gets done. So the trend is starting to be under. Even the Pacers, I think when they were held to, they didn't break 105 in their last 2 games, and they lead the league in scoring. Milwaukee also taking it down, and I think they're averaging 115 in their last few games. They're second. So all the scoring, Hawks have come down. All your top teams in scoring, they're all coming down a little bit, but. This is the NBA, and as they change, same as baseball, as they change, we adapt. Whatever rules they're changing, or how they're calling the game, or what refs call, we adapt to that. Again, this is the difference between what we do and what we call the scamdicappers do. Oh yeah, Celtics are a better team. They're going to beat Golden State, or that's great, but that's not the way to handicap a game. There's one way to handicap a game. It's making a line. And then if your line is off from the books line, that's when you make your bet. That's how the GOAT does it, Billy Walters, which I guess that was one of our most viewed podcasts last week. We showed the clip of Billy explaining on the Joe Rogan show how he makes a bet. Wait, what do you know? Well, I do it the same exact way. So that, again, getting back to that, would that be one of our most viewed? We asked you guys, hey, help us out. Ben tells you guys every day, subscribe, like, comment, no help. We get idiots that just want to come here, a little troll that, oh my God, I swear like a little gnat. But with that, if they outweigh the guys that are showing some appreciation, I told you guys, we'll take it down a notch. So starting today, we'll be down to Monday and Friday on the podcast. And I'll cut it down to once a week next week. So guys, is he actually threatening us? Now listen, I'm not threatening you. I've got a lot of other things to do. The podcast is for you guys. The least you can do is if we get 200 views, I don't know, if half of you think it stinks, the other half you must like it. Fucking hit the like button. You can't do it. Can't drop a comment. We'll be here twice a week, just Monday and Friday, starting today.
And the rest of the weekend, guys, just some other things we can kind of touched on the Brunson injury, but Devin Booker going to be out now 7 to 10 days, it looks like. We'll see when he gets back going here for Phoenix. San Antonio, John, Wembanyama, my God, the last 2 games, I mean, he's getting better and better and better each day. If they get that guy a point guard this offseason, I mean, they can make a big jump. I mean, he just keeps getting better. These last 2 games have been terrific.
And that's what he's going to do, is just keep getting better. Look, the wingspan on this kid is just, it's ridiculous. You know, when I see his arm go up, like I said, I used to remember watching my son play his video games and creating these fake players. He looks fake. It doesn't even look real. 5 blocks, 6 blocks a game. The kid, as advertised, is going to be something special. Couldn't envision him taking over right away, but you could see just getting better slowly and slowly. It's getting to the point. Look, after the All-Star break, you had 3 teams basically in a race for draft picks, and that was San Antonio being one of them. Then you get the Wizards and Pistons, who now Wizards have actually taking the lead, if you can call it, as far as losses. So you didn't know if San Antonio, what they were going to come out with. San Antonio is playing their best ball of the year right now, and that's because this kid Wembanyama just keeps getting better. So it doesn't look like they're trying to lose. They went out there, a couple of nice W's. The one against Oklahoma City was absolutely impressive. Oklahoma City, if they won 7 of their last 8, I believe, he only lost at San Antonio. So, yeah, I like what I see with this kid Wembanyama. The whole rest of this season, just a building block for this kid. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, we're going to see something special here. This is probably – next to 20 years ago when I first saw LeBron. This is for this generation's LeBron.
100% is. And I was talking to a buddy. I mean, everyone talks about the GOAT, this and that. In my eyes, the best basketball player of all time. I'm not talking about whole longevity-wise, but the 3-year stretch, the highest peak of a player was Shaq in 2000 to 2002. I don't think there was a better player ever than that 3-year span of Shaq. I think Wembanyama, I don't know if he's going to be able to longevity-wise catch up to maybe the rings of Jordan, the accolades, the stats that LeBron has, but there's going to be a 3-year peak where I don't think we'll ever see a better basketball player than what he can become.
Okay, so how I clarify a better basketball player, so Shaq dominated. I'm going to agree with you that he dominated, but you can't say dominated like nobody else. Again, even before my time, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 in a season. Yep. He dominated in the late 50s and early 60s. He was a man amongst boys. It was like if me and you grabbed 3 guys and we played the girls' second grade basketball team, we're going to dominate them, and that's what Wilt did then. Shaq did that also, I just don't think to that level, but to call him the best basketball player, he didn't have the talent. He just dominated because he dominated the paint. Wembanyama's just got so much more. This guy can step outside and hit a 3. He runs the court. He's got the court vision to pass. I mean, this guy is absolutely the total package at, I don't even know how 7'5", what are they listing him at?
Yeah,
I mean, this guy stands next to 6'11", 7-footers and makes them look small. And if you can shoot it and dribble and pass, I mean, you're a 5-tool NBA player. So yeah, no, again, like I said, something special with this guy. That's what we talk about, the old school Shaq type center, Pat Ewing, David Robinson, back to the basket. Yep. We're in a different stage of the NBA. We're at a stage where 7-footers are stepping out and knocking down threes.
100% are. It's getting pretty dicey out there. Even Boston yesterday didn't need their 7-footer Porzingis. They still went out there, won by 50. So that's a team that's full strength. We'll see what happens. We got a pretty decent slate today, guys, in the NBA. Let's go ahead and start diving on in. Some injuries, as always, this time of year just keeps on adding up. I talked about some of the big ones over the weekend. We'll talk about some of these going on today. Top game on the card, pretty tough. Look, Grizzlies at Brooklyn. You have this Memphis team who's coming off 2 bad losses. I mean, I don't expect much out of this Memphis team, but you're getting this shorthanded Blazers team. I expect you to take one of those games at home. They lose both of them, second one in overtime. And then you have this Brooklyn team playing a bit better. Granted, both games against the Hawks minus Trae Young. Now 3-1 their last 4, and playing a bit better at home as well. Matchup history, Nets get the last 2 meetings. Grizzlies used to own it before that. Obviously, different Brooklyn team, different Memphis team. Big number here. I mean, Memphis is a G League team at this point, but nonetheless, big number. And I got to see Brooklyn do it against someone else other than Atlanta, John.
Yeah, huge number. 9.5 sitting right now. Memphis is horrible. Exactly. G League team. Triple J, he's been out. You know the story. Morant already out. Bane out. Smart out. This is a choke it up. But especially on the road, they go out and they give a fight, Memphis. And I expect them to give a fight also. Brooklyn, they've got the 76ers coming in tomorrow. So that will be that for tomorrow. They'll be in a back-to-back 4th and 6th situation. So when you got to win by double digits tonight, just a little app knowing, hey, let's save a little guys. Let's save this guy for tomorrow a little bit. Maybe get a little bench. So for me, this game is the dog plus the points or nothing. And as far as the total, look, Memphis, the worst scoring team in the NBA. Nets showed some signs of life. Their last game went under, but the game before went over. They put some points on the board. We'll see what they can do. But yeah, it's under or nobody, and plus the points or nobody for me in this one.
Clippers at Milwaukee. This next matchup, talk about more low-scoring games. I mean, yesterday, really low-scoring in this one for the Clippers, 89-88. Some horrendous shooting performances from both teams. Harden missed all 10 shots, 0 for 10. PG, 5 for 16. For the Wolves, you had some bad shooting performances from Reed and Conley. Clippers team, though, they pull it out. 1-point win at Minnesota. Line's a bit steep here. Waiting to see. Maybe Clippers rest someone on a back-to-back. They do get the Bucks on Sunday, so I could see them resting somebody in this spot, maybe looking to split games with Milwaukee this week. We'll see. Paul George dealing with that injury. Does he get the night off? Harden not looking so great this last couple of weeks. Does he get the night off? Got to see what's going on. Giannis is listed questionable here for Milwaukee, but this line, pretty up there. This line is suggesting that Giannis is absolutely not out, so we'll see what's going on with him. As far as the spot, though, I mean, Bucks a couple months ago, they get the Celtics at home. Celtics were in a back-to-back situation. They had just a really hard-fought come-from-behind win over Minnesota. Similar feel here from the Clippers. They were down as much as 16 yesterday early on. They come all the way back, hold on to that lead late. As far as the matchup history, Bucks 7-2 the last 9 meetings. Milwaukee fixed their defense. Shout out Doc Rivers. He's getting something going there since the All-Star break. Needed that week to get things set. And just feels like a Milwaukee spot. So big number here, but I want to see if anyone's out for the Clippers. If anyone's not out and this line comes down, we'll definitely want to be on Milwaukee in this game.
Yep, this game, again, totally going to look at the lineups in this one. So I just want to throw a shout out to the Frosty Snake, one of our members. Threw it up in the chat last night. Hey, what about that under in the Milwaukee Clippers game? Great catch. Love to see you guys that are on top of things. And yes, we would have went under last night. What happened is with the Bucks listing Giannis is questionable, me feeling Giannis is going to play, we're hoping that once he gets announced probable, the total ticks back up. Unfortunately for us, they already hit. It was such a good spot. They hit the under anyway. So we're missing on that one. But again, get back to Giannis, Milwaukee Bucks. They turned the season around. Losing at Memphis as a 14-point favorite just before the All-Star break was enough of an embarrassment. Come back from the All-Star break. They're playing defense. Pat Beverly, another guy don't care for his game, but he definitely helps on defense. What are they averaging? 97 something a game, giving up in this. So just turned it around. You've got to play defense. To championships are won on defense, and that's it. So playing much better defensively, won and covered every game since there. Now Giannis, as I said, listing him questionable, but again, this is par for the course with Giannis every day, almost listing him questionable. With them not playing yesterday or the day before, you would think Giannis is going to play. Again, sending the line higher. If all the Clippers are playing, I like the Clippers in this one. Yep, tough spot coming off a big win yesterday, but it was an afternoon game. A lot different than playing a night game and then taking that late flight and then getting in and getting to the hotel late. That was a 3:30 game yesterday afternoon, so they get in plenty of time into Milwaukee tonight. They fought Milwaukee tough. The last 5 trips to Milwaukee, Bucks have won 4 out of 5, but it's just 2-1 against the spread. So 5.5. If they say Giannis is in, game ticks up to 6. Just want to see if the Clippers are going to play their guys. Do they rest Kawhi? Do they give Harden a night off an 0 for 10? For me, I'm on the points. For the Clippers, if they play everybody. And here's another game. It's under or nothing in this game. Ben told you, Clipper T-Wolves, nobody breaks 90 last night. Milwaukee, it's, I believe, is it 10-1-1? 10-1-1. Their last 12 games have gone under. And again, the theme here is under. We told you 61-25-1 on the under since the All-Star break. So I like the under in this one, and I would take the points depending on the injuries.
We'll see where the injuries go in that game. Got another injury game here with the Blazers and the Wolves. You have Grant. He left last game. He's doubtful. Ayton, he's missed a couple in a row. He's questionable. And Gobert played big minutes yesterday, going to be questionable. So two teams here questionable for a lot of bodies. We'll see what's going on. Minnesota obviously played yesterday. They had that tough loss with the Clippers. Edwards, solid night. Cat was decent. And then you had some of the role players not stepping up, and that was a tough one. I mean, anytime you're not breaking 90, shooting split's going to be pretty gross. This Portland team, couple of wins at Memphis, 37-7 from Simons in that game. They had a 9-game losing streak going into that. They're playing good ball on the road, though. 6-1 against the spread, their last 7 on the road. It's just an ownership. Minnesota playing really good ball against Portland this season. Won and covered all 3 games by a combined 72 points. Got to see who's all in on this game, but Portland, I mean, just them, the Knicks, the Grizzlies, I mean, the amount of injuries they've had stacked up this season at this point, it's just a completely different roster. No interest in backing the Blazers in this matchup.
No interest in backing the Blazers. Could only want Minnesota. Only reason I'm not jumping all over Minnesota, they're back-to-back. No official word, but just for my Massa Edge members, I put Gobert played 40 minutes last night. So no, and I'm calling him questionable because he has sat out in the second half of back-to-backs. So you just want to be careful with that one, that they don't give him a rest against a team they've absolutely dominated. But they beat them by 72 points combined in 3 games so far this year. So when you get that back-to-back, you're one of the top teams in the West. You don't want to get Gobert or anybody else hurt. So good spot to possibly rest guys. We'll see. Don't want nothing to do with a Portland team. Grant, more doubtful than questionable. I think the same with Ayton. He's missed the last 2 games. You got Brogdon out. You got Sharp out. You got Henderson out. That's 3 guards. It's going to be very tough for Portland to pull off another one, although they hung against Memphis. But really, those were 2 decimated teams going against each other.
We have Wizards at Utah. Wizards now worst team in the NBA. Got blown out by the Clippers, but that was a bad spot on a back-to-back in overtime, and obviously some ownership there. Pretty good on the road this season. 8-3 against the spread. Their last 11 and third best on the season against the spread record. And then they have this Utah team. Got some more injury issues. Marketing, he ended up being out, and that's a huge blessing. Part of why we have such a big edge on this game, John. Another game you absolutely crushed the number here.
Yeah. So Wizards cannot win on the road, but they cover. And they cover regularly. You guys know we had the Wizards against the Lakers in a great spot. Lakers were coming off the big game against the Clippers. So they're great to get in a good spot. Utah they're doing exactly what they did last year. They were fighting in the first half. They were just outside or within range of that play-in spot. After the break, they just totally let it go. Injuries piled up and they're out. Same exact thing this year. And Clarkson had missed the last game. He'll be back. Walker Kessel's missed the last few. He'll remain out. And now Markkanen's going to go out tonight after having a horrendous shooting night. Don't know yet if that had anything to do with the shooting. We'll be looking forward for that. But even if Markkanen wasn't out, when I bet this game, I did not know Markkanen was out yet. And then we get lucky with the game. So this game we took 9.5, and now you're down to like 6 on the game. So no edge anymore at 6, even though I make it still slightly lower. Just don't like Utah. I think they've given up on the season. So again, even at this number, Wizards are nobody, but not enough value there at the 6 at 9.5. Ton of value. Just wish I would have had a couple of more units. It's a 2-unit bet for us.
We'll see what those lines close out. We got Bulls at Sacramento next. Bulls coming off a loss to Milwaukee. When you look at the box score on that one, pretty statistically close. It's just the free throw battle they lose there. The Kings coming off a very impressive road win. That's the thing. They keep getting the big wins on the road right now. No De'Aaron Fox. He's missed the last couple of games. Malik Monk, dude, had 4 points with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Finished with 39 in an OT win. So you're missing the reigning clutch player of the year, De'Aaron Fox, and he goes down, dominates fourth quarter, dominates overtime, and Sacramento pulls out a big win there at Minnesota. Maybe a little bit of a letdown from that. And then here's the other thing. Kings is not getting it done at home. Kings last 11 home games, 3-8 against the spread. Bulls last 10 road games, 8-2 against the spread. Going to be looking to take the points in this one.
Yeah, plus the points for nobody. Chicago in the 9th spot. Don't really feel in danger. They've got a got a 4-game lead on the Nets, but they'll look to go out west for a W. Sacramento's in a fight out there for positioning right now. After Phoenix lost, they're both 7.5 games behind OKC, who, by the way, took over first place last night. So right on the border, 6 and 7. You want to stay out of that playing spot. That being said, Fox has missed the last couple of games, but I just think this number's too big. Sacramento, one of the teams that I have rated better on the road than at home. Chicago's played pretty decent at home, not much of a disparity. I like them. I expect Fox to play. Fox was a full participant in practice yesterday. So the line's sitting at 6.5 now. Once he gets announced, that line will tick up. See, these are the intricacies, guys, of what things we're waiting for. We feel a guy's going to be in or out. We'll wait till he's announced so the line moves if we're hoping to go in that other direction. So we'll wait to see. If this line is at 7.5, this is a no-brainer. We'll be all over the Bulls.
And you have Thunder at the Lakers to wrap up this card. Thunder, weird game last night with Phoenix. They were up by 24 in the third quarter. That lead was cut by the beginning of the fourth, and they came back again and won it by 8. SGA, another solid night. He just keeps on dropping 30 points nights, pencil him in for it every single night. Lakers coming off another loss to the Nuggets. 8 straight losses now to the Nuggets, but all these games, they're right there in it late. I mean, in this game, they had a lead with 7 minutes to go. The game they lost prior in LA, they were tied with 1:45 to go. They still ended up losing by 10. In the playoff series last year, they covered 2 of the 4 in the sweep. A lot of those came down to the wire, so they're right there with Denver. Can't seem to get the win. We'll see how they come up in this one. They're now just 1-5 ATS since the All-Star break. They are 3-3 straight up. Matchup history, all Lakers recently, 6-2 the last 8 meetings. They've taken 2 of 3 so far this season, and the last 2 in LA. This is Lakers or nobody in my eyes. Tough game against Denver. They have the distraction with LeBron getting 40,000 points. You have the Thunder team, who's now coming off a tough win last night. Should have been an easy game. Now, if the Thunder held on to that 24-point lead, they cruised down the stretch, would have been a lot different of a feel. But that game was a lot tighter for no reason. Would be Lakers or nobody here in this spot for me.
Yeah, I'm the other way in this one. Again, here we've got LeBron listed questionable, as he is almost every day. He did score his 40,000 points. If they're going to give him the day off, we'll see. If not, again, this line will tick up just a little bit, and that might just be enough. OKC, there's 2 teams. With their win last night, there's 2 teams winning 70% of their games this year. OKC's one of them. Don't have to say the other one is the Celtics. If you go to my ratings, guys, you'll see I've got the Celtics and the Thunder rated as the 2 top teams in the NBA. Lakers, just when you think they're getting better, then they drop down again. They cannot beat the Nuggets. Nuggets just have their number. So I'm not going to take too much weight out of that. Again, can't make Lakers favorite. Thunder playing great ball on the road. Yeah, they're in a back-to-back. Thunder run a lot of guys out there. Deep squad. They got some guys in the game when they were up 24. We'll see if the line goes up. At +2, for me, would be an automatic on the Thunder as long as everybody's in the lineup tonight.
We'll see where that line goes up to. See what's up with LeBron James, him, Giannis getting these questionable tags seemingly every night. We'll see if they are truly questionable, if they end up being ruled in as usual. Some role players questionable tonight. Injuries. You guys know what's up with the NBA season. You guys want those updates throughout the day. MassaEdge.com or download the Massa Edge app. You guys will get those updates. Nice little run this past week. We'll see if we can keep it rolling here, John. I mean, we got big edge on this one game so far, and I know we're looking at a couple of spots for tonight.
Yeah, I basically have a lean on every game in the NBA tonight, just not really the Timberwolves Portland game, just with that huge number. As far as the rest of the games, it's all going to be made by who's playing any injuries, as usually is. The one we had to get right away last night was that Wizard game. Hope my Massa Edge members were able to get on 9.5. We were able to get that quickly at DraftKings. FanDuel still had 9. So, again, always helps if you got more accounts. And that's how you're going to beating the number, guys. Again, go back to our clip with Billy Walters. It's what it's all about. He tells you, he explains how he increases or decreases units of bet, or if he bets at all, depending on the numbers. And it's numbers. It's nothing else. It's just numbers. So when you're closing, when the line closes, what you think it should be against where the books are, that's what when we call closing line value. And guys argue all the time, but what's the difference if you don't win the game? The difference is every half point the line moves in your direction, you increase your chances of winning. Okay, and that's why the one mutt out there, explain how it's impossible. Really annoying, but just keep making fake accounts. We'll just keep blocking. It doesn't mean anything. If we flip a coin 100 times, 50-50, okay? So if one runs hot more, 52-48. That's why the winning percentage, you have to win 52.4 when you're laying 11 to 10 to break even. Because if you flip that coin 100 times, it's going to maybe 52-48. But 50-50 is the number it's supposed to be. But if you see the polls, they always say the polls, margin of error is 2%. So that's the margin of error. So if you go 52-48, that's why 11 and 10, that's why you can't beat 11 and 10. The only way, and what we're talking about is on the closing number, okay? So by beating the number, each half point you beat the number, that increases. So if your margin is 52-48, you tell me how it's not mathematically impossible to hit only 40 of 100. Okay, so that's. I just want to answer that one question so the little mutt can play all he likes. And again, I hate to do this to the guys that really support us and stuff. But man, if you support us, what does it take to hit the like button? I tell you guys all the time. I see ugly girls on Facebook. I give them a like, make their day. Well, what does it take? If that's too much energy, then we're not going to reciprocate. Hit a fire thing. Again, I said it the other day. Girl's hot, I give her 3 fires. She's ugly, I'll give her 1. Again, make a day. Doesn't take much to give us. Try to help us out with the algorithms. And if you're not, we'll be down to Monday and Friday, guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. This time of year, you're gonna miss a lot of good stuff. And then what do we got coming up at the end of the month? It's baseball. So we'd love to get back to 5 days a week. Just help us out. If you can't do it, we'll see you on Monday and Fridays.
Guys, we'll see you guys on Friday. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, like John said, like, comment, subscribe below. Help us get this thing going. We can get on here more days in the week. And let's make some money, John.
Let's make some money.